sister had this dream, a bad dream, and the whole world was dreaming with her.
Dylan?
She convinced herself that she was awake. She's always been stubborn. I knew I had to end her dream. I had to wake her up. I had to rip down the poster she'd been staring at. Cut off her eyelids to make her see. To save her.
I know he's still there somewhere. Locked inside. I know because that's how it was for me. Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
My reflection trapped in the darkness of the coffee I nurse. The rain turns the lights of the city into a mosaic on the windows. The day's paper lists all the things wrong in the world. The list grows longer by the day. The difference between the morning and the night: coffee, whiskey. No other difference. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It feels like I just closed my eyes. It's dark. I sit up on the bed in the gloom. I get up, I shower. The driver waits for me downstairs, takes me to the oldest house. An old man stares at me in the car window. It's raining. It's dark. Late at night, he brings me back here. It's not a home, it's a room where I sleep in. Waking up just as tired as I was before going to bed. Endless grind.
Not much, but that was it.
When do you think Marshall's coming back? It's not like her to be absent during a crisis.
I'll be here waiting for you when you wake up, brother. If you wake up.
Where are the files on parasitic entities I asked for?
I found a couple of relevant files in Dr. Darling's office. I'd have to dig through the archives for the rest, but I'm not going through.
Jesse, good to see you. We've got Dylan situated in his containment cell like you asked. I've got medical staff running tests as we speak, and I'd be happy to walk you through the details later. Other than that, what's next?
With the slide projector turned off, the hiss are shut out, but we're stuck with the ones already here. We can't lift the lockdown until they're all eradicated. If any hiss ever got out, that would be the end of everything.
Well, eliminating them all will take time. Look, I'll do what I can on my end, but my research is progressing slower than I'd like.
I think I can help with that. I am making you the head of research. Effective. I want you to use everything the Bureau has, every resource, every
That's... Really? I mean, yes, I can certainly... Yes! Yes, I accept.
You'll do great. Besides, I didn't really have anyone else lined up.
I'm honored, Jesse, really. Thank you. That slide project, you were right to shut...
How do you feel about me taking over?
You act like it just happened. You've been director since we first met, remember? I am still thrilled. Nothing's changed. Not for me. But the Bureau has changed. Trench and Darling are gone. Their knowledge, anything not written down, disappeared with them. They knew the Bureau better than anyone.
They're the Bureau's past, Emily. We won't operate like they did. We'll learn from their mistakes. We'll be better than we won't ever. When the hiss got into my head, I think Darling even spoke to me. Does that make any sense to...
Empiric, but phantom voices as well as... And considering the force, he could have been transferred to a different plane of consciousness, physically or other.
And that doesn't upset you?
The fact that he hid those forces from me, it's infuriating. This time he may have taken a step too far, but as long as his consciousness can perceive his surroundings, I'm sure he's loving it.
Maybe Darling was just trying to protect you from the darker side of his world.
I'm not a child. Like, don't just assume I'm going to consider something morally repugnant.
Which it all was.
Which it all was, of course.
How is...
I can't detect any his activity, but his physiology is certainly... I can't tell if his brain activity is genuine or simply the aftermath of the hiss. Like, Dylan could wake up tomorrow for all I know. I really can't say.
Then I just have to wait. That's fair. He waited a long...
Don't worry, we'll be monitoring him round the clock. If he wakes up, we'll be ready. I don't mean that in a hostile way.
I hear you. My brother isn't exactly popular. I found Dylan attacking the astral... What was he hoping to accomplish?
Huh. Since they arrived, Hiss have been corrupting objects of power, which have an inherently... Maybe their goal was to access the astral plane.
That still doesn't tell us why.
But I have been digging through confidential files and noticed a strange gap. Looks like any data on them has either been deleted or was never gathered.
Then maybe it's time someone looked... So, there was a moment after the hiss got into my head.
So that explains the... Before we knew what was happening, the hiss, they were in my head. I saw terrible... I mean, I was about to go under forever when the hiss was pushed, but the HRAs had come. So if Hedron's death knocked out the HRAs, that means there must be a new local source for them to relay. Which I'm guessing Hedron is dead, assuming that word even applies to a resonant-based life form. But whatever, or at least that's what my
I
instrument...
don't think we're ever gonna understand all, and I'm okay with that. I'm just glad you're here with... Thanks, Emily. Well, I've got a beer. See you soon.
I'm Director Feyden.
Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
Where are the files on...
Yeah, I found a file on the old director, Northmore. I heard you closed the Hiss portal, or whatever it is we're calling it. Now, if we could just flush out the stragglers.
So, what...
Well, first off, I'm banning all slide projectors. That's it. Seriously, though, we need to review our protocol. Research should not be making decisions that endanger the entire Bureau. Fuck, the entire fucking world.
I think Pope would agree. Certain people in the Bureau have been working in...
And I'd like to make these HRAs part of the mandate. They're not stylish, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think anyone will complain. Not after this. What are your thoughts on me serving as director?
Well, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Trench was fine, but... Well, I'm honored to serve, ma'am. I mean, fuck, shit. Feyden. Sorry.
He'll get it one day. So...
The situation is we are still up to our eye, not to mention the months of repairs it's gonna take just to get this...
But is it doable?
Of course it is. You just might need to tell some rangers to grab a wrench, once they're done hunting his.
Did anyone ever mention to you that...
Salvador never did, but I'm well aware that it's our job to study and contain the things that we don't know. Some of the things that Darling did were way outside of. Look, these things are not toys, and acting like they are is only ever gonna end. At least Pope seems to understand that.
Well, it's secure. No one can reach it without my say-so.
But thank Christ.
Marshall's been missing for a while now. Any ideas where she could be?
The last time I saw her was in maintenance when I was leading the Rangers out of the Atlas. Yeah, I told her it wasn't safe, but... She said she had to go check on something.
Did you ask where she was going?
Whew. Marshall is not the kind of person you question. Kind of intimidating, you know? But, she was by herself, if that helps at all.
Not really, but thanks. Hopefully she turns up. I'll see you later. Ati's still gone. I guess I just take a seat. This is what being a janitor's all about. I suppose the janitor's assistant does need proper janitor attire.
you need something?
I assume you'll be staying with us until the mold is eradicated.
Indeed. Until I find a permanent resolution to this pesky fungus. Perhaps even beyond that, seeing it understaffed at the moment. Though, I hardly have a say in my... Your oldest house won't open the exits until those hiss monstrosities...
Glad to have you along. Will the mold be under control?
We were barely containing it with weekly Just look at how it has spread after a few days. It's beyond the threshold now. The floodgates...
So... With Darling gone, I'm putting Emily Pope in charge of the research sector. Are you okay with that?
Perfectly. You have pulled Excalibur from the stone, and now decree as you see fit, O Queen. What a true meritocracy we live in.
Glad to hear it. I had a dream. Darling was there. He told me something, but I think he's gone.
Right. Well, he's never where one expects him to be, is he? Well, thank God. I can finally stop writing these tedious reports that I'm sure he never even took the... If you speak to him again, can you tell him
I'll try.
I should be getting back...
I'll see you later, Rhea.
Dr. Underhill, if you please.